Frontline with Courtney Kenny, and I'm Tom Parisi, and today we got a great set of guests. Welcome back, another fresh episode of the Frontline podcast. I'm Tom Parisi, he's Courtney Kenny, and today we are pleased to be joined by the most recent draft pick, first-round draft pick of your North Bay Battalion, taken 11th overall just a few weeks ago, Owen Outwater. Owen, welcome to the club. We are happy to have you, sir.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
We understand you were up just a few days before this recording. So tell us, was it your first ever trip to North Bay, and what did you like? And, what can we improve on? We're open to criticism.
Yeah, I hadn't really been for a long visit in North Bay, so it was good. Adam really gave me a good tour of the city, and yeah, it looks amazing. There's looks like there's a ton of stuff going on, and yeah, just really excited to spend the year there this year.
Did you get out to any good restaurants while you're here?
Yeah, I went to would be the White Owl,
Okay.
the Best Western. We went there, and Average Joe's. We also went there.
Both are good options. Both are very good options.
Yeah.
So take us back to the day, the first round. It was a different draft this year, the first 3 rounds, the one day, and then the rest the next day. Take us back to that moment that, 11th overall, Owen Outwater, the name comes up on the screen.
Yeah, I was beyond excited. We did the interviews with all the teams, and North Bay was definitely an interview that stuck out with me. The coaching staff and the like Adam is an amazing guy, and I was so excited when I saw my name picked by the team. I couldn't ask for a better situation in North Bay, and I think this last weekend going up, it really showed me what to expect, and yeah, I couldn't be happier.
We spoke with Assistant GM John Winstanley, Chief of Scouting Charlie Abbott, and Adam Dennis about the interview process. What was your interview like? Did you have any odd questions from these guys? It's okay, you can tell us. We'll get back to them.
No, it was a great interview. Yeah, John really impressed me. He really had all the stats, and it kind of dove in depth into my game, and it really impressed me how much he kind of knew about my game already. So yeah, it was really cool, and they gave me kind of a virtual tour of the arena and the facilities. So yeah, it was a really good presentation, and definitely had me hoping for their pick on draft day.
Now, I imagine it's I've never had to go through an interview like that with a team. Obviously gone through interviews for jobs and stuff. Is a little nerve wracking. Was it kind of the same thing when it comes to, an OHL team's calling you before the draft type of thing? The nerves get going.
Yeah, I think there's always nerves when it comes to those interviews, especially the first couple ones, and North Bay was in the first couple, and it was kind of nerve wracking, but you get kind of used to public speaking a little more. I haven't really been doing these things so much until this year, so it was kind of a first time thing, but got a little used to it, and I think I improved over the interviews.
Well, we're happy to help. So if you need a hand, we're good to go. But how did your parents feel about everything that went on in the interview and the whole draft process? How did they feel about going to North Bay?
Yeah, so I took the interview from Oakville, and my parents were in Ottawa doing it. So we didn't really have communication then, but they called me as soon as the interview was over, and was like, wow, I really hope you get to North Bay, because that looks like a great spot to play. And yeah, I was totally on board with that. And yeah, we just had to hope on draft day, and everything worked out.
So we've also heard from the 3 that we mentioned, Adam, Charlie, and John. They didn't expect to see you at 11th, and you were still there, and all that stuff. And of course, this draft was weird. It can't be overstated how weird the whole year's been. But when you're sitting there and you see yourself going down and stuff, where, you never really know where you're going to go, but what's that kind of like when you're sitting there and, okay, I haven't gone in the top 10, and then you go right at 11?
Yeah, I wasn't too fazed by it. Obviously, I want to go high in the draft, but it wasn't a priority for me. I think landing in a spot like North Bay is I think the best situation for me. I don't think it really matters what spot I get picked. And congrats to everyone that was picked before me, and I think I'm just going to use it as motivation for next year. And I think that's the best way for me to look at it.
Well, that's a great way to look at it. My question now is, what was your first impression of head coach Ryan Ulahan? How was Uli for you?
Yeah, he's awesome. He gave me a a good presentation on the team and what he expects from his players. And I mean, yeah, it fits right into my values as a hockey player. And I'm really excited to get to play for him next year and take on any roles he gives me.
Well, what are your values as a hockey player? Let's learn a little bit about Owen Outwater here.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, hard work. I want to make sure I'm putting in 100% effort every day in the gym and on the ice, kind of make sure I'm not leaving anything out there. And I always want to be the hardest worker on the ice. I also like to play with some skill. It's a big part of my game. I like to have the puck on my stick, and I'm an offensive player, so that's obviously the fun part of the game. And and I'm still obviously really focused on the defensive zone, and I don't like to give up goals as much as I like to score them. So I mean, playing both ends of the ice and playing a highly skilled game and making sure my compete's always there are kind of my values.
Well, looking at your past stats, I mean, putting up 52 points in your U14 year and 62 in your U15 year, and of course, the last little bit not getting as much action, of course, but it looks like you definitely are an offensive-minded guy. Do you have it? I know it's really early and you just got drafted, but do you have any specific celebration in mind for when you get that first in the OHL?
I think it's going to be a down to the moment decision, whatever I'm feeling at the time. But I'm going to be pretty excited. I can tell you that.
How was it for your parents this year? You know, with the pandemic going on, them back in the Ottawa area, you down in Oakville. How was that whole dynamic for you guys?
Yeah, it was obviously different. I think it did help me a lot going into next year, kind of getting adjusted to kind of that billet lifestyle and learning to be a little more self-disciplined and start doing stuff on my own. So I kind of like that aspect of it. But sorry.
Hey, they can join if they want.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Kind of just getting used to it. I think it's going to be a big part of next year. And I think it was different, obviously, but I think it was good for me. And I think that's what's most important.
We've heard some rumblings that, it's again too early to tell, but it seems like fans are going to be able to be back in the rink when the OHL starts up. Easy question to answer. Your parents going to be there for game one?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, my parents wouldn't miss that. I'm pretty sure. Really excited for that.
Even if they can't, they'd be in the parking lot listening to it on the radio or something. And I guarantee it'll be a good broadcast. I know the people. But how cool is it going to be with the last first overall pick, Ty Nelson, and you coming in at the same time, even though you both haven't played a game for the team yet? How kind of cool is that dynamic?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I know Ty decently well. I had a few skates with him this year, and he's a great guy. He's obviously an amazing defenseman. There's no doubt in my mind that he's going to be a great defenseman in the OHL next year. And yeah, I'm really excited to play with him. And I mean, I've never seen a defenseman with that kind of skill on the back end. So it's pretty cool to be able to come in at the same time as him and kind of learn things from him as well.
How cool was it too that night that him and Wakely got on the phone and called you up right away?
Yeah, it was obviously awesome. I wasn't expecting as much support as I got from the team, and kind of getting that interview with Ty and Dalen was really cool, and getting to know them a little better.
I mean, how far does that go for a guy like you who maybe doesn't know everybody on the team and, they go out and welcome you like that? How good does that feel?
I mean, that's amazing. It really shows how much they care about their teammates, and it kind of helped me feel more comfortable with joining this next step in my career and kind of joining the North Bay Battalion. It made me feel like I was at home, and it was amazing that they did that.
When that phone call comes down after you've been selected, you get your first phone call from Adam or whoever it is. What's that kind of like? What's going through your mind when that happens?
Yeah, so Adam called me right before the pick was made, and I was kind of sitting there, kind of nervous because obviously North Bay, I was really really hoping I could get there, and as soon as I got the call, I was over the moon. And he told me I was going to get picked, and I was extremely happy. I had a little trouble responding. I was shaking so much. So as soon as the nerves got out of the way, it's just pure excitement. Came back and told my parents the news, and they were really excited for me. So it was an amazing time.
We're pretty excited you signed. You've committed already. We're happy to see you. Have they given you a team jersey yet? I know they got you number 21 type of deal for the year you were drafted, but do you have an actual number with the team yet?
Yeah, so I have just chosen 18 last weekend, so I'm taking that one, and yeah, pretty excited for it. I took it. My grandpa used to wear 18 when he played, and he talked to me about it, and I'm like, anything I can do to kind of honor him and play for him is something that I really want to do.
That's an awesome story.
Well, and also Battalion fans have fond memories of Mike Amadio wearing 18 out there scoring 50 goals. So I mean, no pressure or anything, but if you don't get 50 in your rookie year or something, no, I'm just kidding. What's the whole process like? I mean, you get drafted, of course, and you can choose to whether you want to commit to the team or you want to go a different route or all that stuff. What's that kind of process like from you're drafted 11th overall to you come up to North Bay and you finally put pen to paper like that?
Yeah, I think I pretty much had my mind made up as soon as the pick was made. I wasn't playing around. I want to play here, and yeah, I made that pretty clear to Adam that there was no convincing me. I was coming no matter what. So yeah, it was an amazing time, and I was really happy to sign.
Hey, we're happy they've got some size back in the lineup. No offense to the other people they've drafted, but it seems the last couple of years have been a lot of, small, speedy. But now we're going with some big players who've got some skills. So hey, we're happy to have you, and we know you can do some great things.
Thank you a lot. Yeah, it means a lot.
So obviously, as Tom mentioned, and right there, we're all pretty excited to see you play. But you yourself, what's it looking like towards October 7th? How tough is it waiting for that date to come?
Yeah, it's kind of, I can't wait for that. But I mean, I'm kind of going to use this summer as much as possible just to get bigger and faster and kind of make sure that I'm ready for the next level. I want to come in as prepared as I can for the team and kind of make sure that I'm working as hard as possible to make sure that I'm as best as possible at that point. And yeah, just making the most of the time I have before the season is what's going to come down to help me out next year.
I was reading an article our friends at Bay Today wrote all about your trip here, and it mentions your fitness trainer being a former North Bay Centennial. What Derek have to say about the city? It's okay, you can tell us. I mean, we're all about behind the scenes thing, and you can go off on any tangent you feel like.
Yeah, I mean, even before the draft, we were having conversations, and Derek was like, "You think there's a chance you can make it to North Bay?" And I'm like, "I hope so." But and after I've probably heard a million stories about the North Bay now, and he's got nothing but good things to say. He's kind of helping me out with all the little nice places around North Bay where to visit, and yeah, he was really excited for me, and yeah, nothing but good things to say about the city.
The next time you're up here, you definitely have to try out the Boat. That's a pretty good restaurant. That's a good place to eat right on the lake.
Yeah, so we did go out to the Boat. I had a lunch with Adam and Ryan Ulahan and the coaching staff there, and it was great food. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, it has to be great food considering the guy who runs the food at Memorial Gardens too. So. Going on your tour of the gardens, of course, when you come up here, it's a little bit different right now being a vaccination center, but what's your takeaways when you're walking around? You got it virtually and now you're there physically. What's your takeaways seeing the rink?
I mean, I was surprised how updated it was. Everything was brand new. The weight gym was first class. The dress rooms were really cool. Even going into the rink, I know it's a vaccination clinic right now, but I mean, just seeing how big it is, I wasn't expecting it to be that big, and it kind of came a little bit. I was a little more surreal in person than online, and I kind of got the whole experience. So yeah, I'm really excited for being able to play there.
Word on the street is it's a pretty loud place too. So Courtney keeps saying.
Unfortunately for Tom, he missed the first 3 seasons at the Battalion. We're here in deep playoff runs, and the building was shaking. So we're hoping to get back to that, and I can only imagine what that'd be like as a player on the ice as well. So
yeah, for sure.
Have you played in front of many big crowds, coming up?
I played it in front of a few. There's obviously I've been to a few big tournaments in my minor hockey career, the Brick Hockey Tournament being one of them. And yeah, kind of going far in the playoffs. Sometimes we had a few hundred people there, but I don't think anything's going to compare to the OHL and the fans in North Bay. And yeah, just really excited to see everyone and kind of feel the energy in the building.
So now that you've been drafted, and obviously Ty and Dolan Wakely reach out to you, have you heard from anyone else around the team other than the coaching staff and all? I mean, player wise, have you heard from anyone else?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone on the team's pretty much reached out to me. The Christopoulos twins were right away to reach out. Ty Hillette got my number and made sure to reach out. He's from around here, so it was pretty nice to get a text from him, knowing that he's excited for me to come to camp, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Are there many guys that you knew on the team already?
There was a couple. As I said, I was familiar with Ty Nelson. I have skated with Dalen Wakely a little bit. I wasn't too familiar with him, but yeah, he's also a great player, very skilled forward, and yeah, I'd get really excited if I ever get the chance to play with him. And Ty Hillette, I've seen play here before. He played 67s here, so I have seen him play. Yeah, those guys pretty much. But yeah, pretty much everyone on the team I've seen play a little bit. I've watched the battalion games before, and yeah, it looks like fun hockey. So yeah, I'm really excited.
Have you been to? Sorry, Courtney, you go ahead first.
I was just
way off topic.
On the topic of Ty Hillette, the last game before COVID shut everything down, the battalion played the Ottawa 67s here, and he got into a corner with the 67s player and basically manhandled him and had to sit out the rest of the game. And he stood next to me for the rest of the game, and we just talked, but it was fun watching him take down the 67s. He was like a one-man wrecking crew in the corner, basically. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Go ahead, Tom. Sorry.
I was just wondering, in your time, have you been to many OHL rinks?
Yeah, I think I've pretty much been to at least half of the OHL rinks, playing in them or watching games. I think I've been to Ottawa, Peterborough, Kingston, Niagara, and Mississauga, and a few more like that. But yeah, my first time in the North Bay rink, and it's pretty cool. I think the building's got a lot of character. And being in a small town rink, I think it's the fans are just going to be electric, and that's what I'm really excited for.
Wait till you go to Sudbury.
Yeah, that's what I've been told.
It's funny though, because when we pull the players on here, we'll ask them, "Oh, where's your favorite and least favorite players or places to play?" And Sudbury and Peterborough always top the list as least favorite. So
yeah, I can see that.
Coming into the OHL, it's going to be bigger level and a higher brand of hockey that you've been playing. So the rivalries are going to be huge because Sudbury's right down the road. What are you looking for when you get into your first kind of rivalry games? You're a new player and you don't really have the emotions that some of the other guys might have invested in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think get out there for my first shift and maybe I get rocked or throw a hit, and I think that's going to get me right into the game. And yeah, just I think I'll see the boys around me who have been in the rivalry games before and see how pumped up they are, and I think that feeling is going to be mutual, and I'm excited to go to war with them.
I was watching a documentary a while back, and it was about the former NHL player Paul Kariya with the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, and he was saying how high maintenance of a guy he was with his trainer. Where do you fit in there? Are you the high maintenance kind of guy, like everything has to be just so, or are you kind of easygoing when it comes to your equipment?
I'm pretty easygoing. I like to make sure I'm prepared for all my games. I'm not too picky on my equipment. I don't want to make the trainer's job harder than it has to be. I'm pretty easygoing, but yeah, I like to make sure that I have all my equipment prepared before games.
Any superstitions?
I have the same pregame meal every day. I have fettuccine Alfredo and chicken. So that's something I've been doing for years, and yeah, I want to continue doing that in the OHL. So
I've always wondered how a superstition like that kind of starts. Like, it was just one day you had it and you went out and scored like 5 goals, and then you just wanted to keep it that way, or?
Yeah, so I was at my grandparents' house, and we were playing in a tournament near them, and my grandma makes a great fettuccine Alfredo and chicken, and I had it, and I think I scored a few goals after that, and I've stuck to that ever since. So it's become kind of a good luck charm for me.
Hey, whatever works.
Yeah, like when I played baseball, I had to like douse my glove in the infield dirt, but I don't even know why, because I wasn't that great. So it wasn't like I went out and hit a home run after that or something. So
Playing soccer, I had to touch. I played in net, so I touched every post like it was some holy trinity thing. So things wouldn't go in.
That's funny. Well, Owen, we really appreciate the time today. We're really excited to see you on the ice along with basically 2 rookie classes as well. It's going to be really exciting to watch you guys finally when training camp starts on, I believe, the 4th of September, and again when the season gets going.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be here, guys, and thanks so much for having me. And yeah, I'm excited to get back to North Bay.
Oh, I'm sure we'll have you on a couple more times before the OHL career is done with you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to Owen Outwater for joining us, the 11th overall pick in the last draft for the North Bay Battalion. I'm expecting big things, and I think he's expecting some big things too. But Courtney, before we go, I wanted to mention when he said his pregame meal was fettuccine Alfredo, all I could think of was season 4, episode 1 of The Office, where Michael Scott carbo loads with fettuccine Alfredo, gets dehydrated, hurls his guts out, and barely finishes a 5K. I'm hoping that doesn't happen to Owen.
Yeah, that would be well, I think he's just having the one, right? Whereas Michael Scott was having a bunch. But you know what? I got to applaud you. You had it right down to the season, to the episode. That's pretty impressive.
Well, we watch a lot of Office around here. I'll tell you that much.
It is a great episode. I think although that definitely does steal the show. I really like Andy like putting the bandages on his nipples and then trying to run with the shirt.
We could just have is real. The chafing is real. We could dedicate an entire Frontline episode or to The Office.
Let's just throw in Office references to every question that we have or something. Just all day.
We could. Anyhow, listen, we got to thank Owen. He was a great guest. We're going to have him on a whole bunch of other times. You know that. Ben Sargent, our intrepid producer, for making it sound fantastic. If you're watching this one on Kojiko, well, you're in luck. That's the whole thing. If you want to listen, though, you can find us also on YouTube. So you can watch this as many times as you want. You can find us on Google Podcast, Spotify, Apple Music, and all Battalion social media because, hey, we're just that popular. So he's Courtney Kenny. I'm Tom Parisi, and this was a lot of fun, and we're going to do it again sometime.